Hello, welcome to another episode of Crypto Charts. I'm Fausto Botelho, broadcasting from Brazil, and today we're going to see why Bitcoin is ready for another move, and we're also going to take a look in the S&P, which just today made its all-time high. I'm also going to show you that there's a bloodbath happening in all the alts, and we just pass by all the cryptos, the 41st ones, and see the figure. Okay, you that like technical analysis like me and like taking a look at a chart. So let's start with the S&P. So I'm changing here to the terminal, and I'm now showing you the terminal, and here it is, the S&P in its all-time high, and it's in its all-time high, considering that we're seeing the S&P indexed by the CPI, so we're taking inflation out. The high had been previously the September 2018 top, and now it's today. But you know, sometimes in war, and that's what happens in the S&P daily, that's what happens in every market traded freely, is that it's hard for you to gain a position, to gain new territory, but sometimes it's even harder for you to keep it. So having the S&P broken the all-time high, we must understand that for that, it had to spend a lot of energy annihilating all the sell orders that were below this mother of all resistances, which was the all-time high in the S&P. Okay, so it did it brilliantly because it started with a gap today, and the low was the opening, and the high was the close. So there is no better indication of the bull's dominance than what the Japanese call the Marubozu, opening and close Marubozu. So you don't have a hair in the close, you don't have a hair in the twig, and so market opens in the low, closes in the high. So the S&P broke to its all-time high. So what should happen here? The market don't have the sell orders that were below the resistance area, and it should touch the stop orders of all those people that were in sideways by over the wall, and then they jump from the wall and they jump in the stock market, right? So what should happen next? Market should rally. That's what we should expect of the S&P. After a rally, then usually the market flags up. The flag is a process of realizing profits, process of profit taking that overcomes the main upward force. And as soon as this profit taking is realized, then the upward forces take over again, and the market goes for another upward move, another rally. After another rally, another flag, and after another flag, another bull move. And if we think of Elliott, we would be seeing a first wave, little wave 1 here, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. After that, then we're probably, we most probably will have some bigger accumulation or bigger decision-making process. So that's what we should expect to see in the S&P. But as a technical analyst, I fish my fish in the margins of the river. So the margins for us technical analysts are support and resistance level. We are in the most important resistance level of all times. Market has just broken that. So I am watching very closely the market. Why? Well, first, because eventually you may have an indication to buy. because I'm not buying the possibility for the market to start a new bull market. I am waiting for the eventual possibility for a very important, the most important of all indications, which would be a bull trap, as a situation in which the market would start going up after the 4th of July. Also, I want to talk to you about the big and very important holidays. Usually, the market takes a decision after a holiday. So we're in the 4th of July in the US, and eventually, if we see a bull trap after the 4th of July, wow, boy, I tell you what, that is going to be an important indication. And I would say, I would sign below that the market would go in the direction that it would be pointing. So we have to wait. There's another decisive week ahead. And let's see what happens if it keeps going up and then it gives a flag. It is probably starting a new upward movement, and who knows where it's going to stop. I mean, but if it produces as a bull trap, then I'll tell you what, that's going to be the most important indication I've ever seen in all my 40 years of experience in technical analysis. Yet, man, I have 49 years of experience. I started my technical analysis attending a seminar in 1977 in London. Actually, it was in Cambridge. I was in London working as a trainee in Conti Commodity, and then I attended a 3-day seminar. Another day I was passing by my papers and my files, my physical files, and I found this letter that I received from investment research that was confirming my attendance to the seminar. So this is it. Let's take a look at Bitcoin now, okay? And let me see what I'm doing here. Back to the chart. And I want to tell you that we just, oh, look at that. That's beautiful. I was going to say that we have just issued a long call for Bitcoin. And I'm going to tell you why. Actually, it's written here because whenever we publish our calls that we send here in news, soon enough we're gonna have these calls written in English. But you know, if you want, you can enter in contact with us. We speak English in the office, and you can receive these recommendation of compra. That's in Portuguese. Bitcoin. That's the symbol. Objective, price, stop. So there's the numbers are the same, right? That's the value. The objective is 14,000. The stop we recommend to put in 10,688. The price at the moment that we recommended was 11,376.6. If the market reaches its objective, we would one that would follow this recommendation would make 23.1%. If it reaches the stop, then he would lose 6.1%. That's if he takes the full stop, because whenever we may, we start moving the stop with the position. Right? This green line here is called the distance from original distance from the price that we enter until the stop. So whenever the market reaches that distance in our favor, then we move the stop in order not to lose anymore. Or better, I'm showing you the daily chart here. I'm changing to the, no, actually it's the hourly chart. Yeah, let's put it on the 15-minute chart. Yeah, what we would do whenever the market reaches this green line is that we're probably going to put it below this candle here, in a situation in which we wouldn't lose anymore. So why did we recommend that? Well, let me show you the daily chart here. Oh, first of all, well, let's go back a little bit more and cryptos one, and let me show you the weekly chart of Bitcoin, which is right here, and which I'm showing you. Well, I've said this many times here in the channel, but I'm not considering this first upward movement of Bitcoin. because nothing goes from zero to something. I'm starting to think about Bitcoin as a commodity or a coin or whatever when it was at $5. Okay, so from $5, it had this first upward movement of around 21,000%, 24,000%, and which also produced time for water here. Produced us with a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then after that we had a correction composed of wave 1, A, B, C, and then from then on, when the market was $200, we then had this second upward movement, which I consider wave 3, and then wave 4 is very important for us to analyze because, see, wave 4 had a first downward movement, impulsive wave, because it's going in the direction of the main wave, right? And then it produced us this descending triangle. Let's go back to the daily chart to see it more clearly. It produced us with this descending triangle, and a descending triangle is by definition a corrective wave. Where can you find where can you find ascending or descending triangles? Ascending triangles you're going to find in wave 2 and in wave 4. And descending triangles you're going to find in wave B, right? When you have a B, C. And also you can have an ascending triangle in wave B of a wave B. So you have waves in the correction cycle. You have wave A, wave B, and wave C. Wave B is composed of an ABC. The B of the bigger B might be ascending triangle. So by definition, it is triangles, ascending and descending triangles are always a corrective wave. If we come back to this chart here, we see an impulsive wave, by the way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, then we see clearly the descending triangle, and then we see another impulsive wave. So this is definitely a corrective wave. All these a corrective wave composed of a wave A, B being the descending triangle, and C being this downward movement here that took the price to its low at 3,300 something. Okay, then we had what I think was a inverted head and shoulders, and then the market started to go up. In its way up, it made a first wave, and then an accumulation, a second wave. So that would be waves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the market made a wave 1 composed of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? After that, what did it produce us? It gave us a B, C, almost touched the support line. We shouldn't forget that Bitcoin's in a bull market. And whenever you see a market in a bull market, you have to you have to blur your view for the downward indications, and you have to be very smart to the upward indications, right? If you're using an indicator, for instance, like the RSI, the RSI is hard to use for the newcomers because you have to know whether the market is trendable or not trendable. Bitcoin is trendable now, and it's in a bull market because we've finished the 2017 corrective wave 4. So we're starting wave 5. That's the biggest of the bulls, the biggest of the bull moves, right? So I was talking about the RSI. RSI, whenever you're in the upward movement, you have to just delete all the downward indications, and you have to pick all the upward indications, only the upward indications, right? But the newcomer don't know about that. He starts using the short indications of the RSI, and he finds out that he gets a false indication after a false indication. That's it. So in a bull market, we have to take a look very close to the upward indications. And what did we have in terms of upward indications? Well, first of all, we had in the daily chart, we have this hammer here. But it's not a simple hammer. It's a hammer happening after ABC, right? So ABC hammer, yellow light. Now we have to time this entry in the market. So we did. So yesterday we were about to shoot the upward call, but we decided to wait a little bit. So what did we wait for? And now I'm taking you to the calls, crypto calls, and I'm taking you to the call that we did here based on the hourly chart. Let's put this chart here. So the the blue line here, horizontal line, is the price where we bought. It's written there, the July 3rd, 2019, 11,376.6. And this is the objective, 14,000. And so what did we waited? We waited for the market to break this resistance trend line here and then produce us a profit taking, producing us this beautiful pennant here, flag or symmetrical triangle or whatever, right? So whenever the market was, and we actually went to the 15-minute, whenever it was kind of almost breaking this resistance line, then we shoot the call, which, so this is it. So where can Bitcoin go? Well, for that we have to get into our helicopter or plane, fly away and see the forest, see again the forest from far away. And for that, we're going to take a look at this weekly chart here. And there we go. Actually, I don't have the slightest clue about where Bitcoin could go, but whenever I'm kind of lost, I ask the market, and I have a lot of answers looking at my charts. So let's take a look. Actually, we're not going to see 40 points today, just 20, okay? Because we're running out of time. So back to the chart here. If I talk to the market and I ask him, where are you going? He answers me back, well, I don't know, but if you take a look, you can see what I've done in the past. So I might do that, especially because now in my counting of the Elliott waves, we're entering wave 5. And wave 5, my friends, is that one that carries the most of the euphoria. You know, people get crazy. Mainstream jumps into Bitcoin, and you know, everybody wants to talk about Bitcoin. Remember 2017? All the news paper, the television news, all national televisions of all the countries in the world were talking about Bitcoin almost every day. All the magazines, the weekly magazines from around the world were talking about Bitcoin. I think it was spent a sort of $1 trillion in merchandise of Bitcoin at that time. So that may happen again, even though because now we have some very solid fundamental factors happening, like Facebook, like JP Morgan, like Becht, like the probability ever so more likely that the SEC is going to approve the ETFs and so. And so back to the chart, I can imagine that Bitcoin will do something similar to what it has done in wave 3, right? So, but if we're conservative, if we imagine that Bitcoin is going to just equal the last portion of wave 3, then is this section here, I project upwards from the low, and we come to $64,000. If it repeats wave 4, wave 3, then we're talking about this segment here, from here to here, this segment here. We're talking about $64,000 $330,000. And first time I do that, if it repeats wave one, which was the biggest of the three, oh, then we're talking about $750,000, $60,000. Wow, isn't that great? So what do we do? Here we think on the Bitcoin standard. We only see charts quoted in Bitcoin, and we use our technical analysis and try to see which of the coins quoted in Bitcoin are giving signs of technical analysis that will eventually outperform Bitcoin. So whenever we see that, we buy them. We buy those coins. Oh, yeah, and whenever you sell them, you're going to sell for more Bitcoin. So you increase the amount of Bitcoin that you possess. Now, if we eventually see Bitcoin with the possibility, like we were actually seeing, as I can show you here, we were actually seeing Bitcoin with the possibility of having a correction over here. Why is that? Well, because we have seen so far wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that. Over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the market reaches a very special level, $14,000. And then it gives us a fantastic reversal like that. That produces a evening star formation. So whenever after that it produces a downward flag, we may eventually understand that a bigger correction is coming. So whenever that happens, what do? We sell Bitcoin. I would love to say that we could buy a very special coin, which is a stable coin, which is called whatever you want. But the one with liquidity is called Tether. And Tether didn't blow up until today, so I don't think it's going to ever blow up. It's going to hold tight, and it's going to be there for a long time. So we just, there were a time in which Binance had a pair that was true USD / Bitcoin. So it was true USD coded in Bitcoin. It was worth 0.00000, I don't know what, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. And having a pair true USD Bitcoin, then you could think it's just psychological, you know. But if you were in the Bitcoin standard, it's psychologically important for you to understand that what you're doing is that you're just getting out of using your Bitcoins to buy a coin which is going to double in price. No, not double, but, well, actually it doubles in price if Bitcoin falls in dollar 50%. If Bitcoin falls 10%, that coin will rise 11%. If Bitcoin falls 15%, that coin, stable coin, dollar, the dollar itself, right? Because whenever you sell Bitcoin, trying to buy back your Bitcoins, whenever you sell Bitcoins that go to dollar, and you understood, right? It's just a matter of psychologically, instead of selling Bitcoins, you holder that want to hold your Bitcoins, whatever. You don't want to be in nothing but Bitcoin. Well, you can use your Bitcoins or a part of your portfolio of Bitcoins to buy some coins and try to increase your amount of Bitcoins, right? One of these coins may be Tether. But that would be if Binance or what, there are some exchanges that do quote this pair. Stable coin quoted in Bitcoin. So you're thinking of buying something. Now, in Binance, you only have to think of selling Bitcoins. But selling Bitcoins, trying to buy it back if Bitcoin falls in price in terms of dollar, works that way. It's incredible, isn't it? The maths work that way. If Bitcoins fall 10%, you're gonna buy 11% more. If Bitcoin falls 15%, you're gonna buy 17.5 more Bitcoins. If it falls 20, it's 25 more Bitcoins. If it falls 30, it's 44 or something more Bitcoin. If it falls 50%, okay, you sold your Bitcoins for 10,000. Bitcoin fell, so you have $10,000. One Bitcoin, you have $10,000. Bitcoin fell to $5,000, right? 50%. With your $10,000, you're going to buy 2 Bitcoins. So meaning that 50%, and so on. It goes exponentially. So it's very interesting for you to try to trade Bitcoin whenever you think Bitcoin's going to go make a correction. But of course, that's for people that are professional or professionally trying to be professionally investing in the market. It's not for someone that doesn't have time to watch for its stops and so on. Wow, I spoke a lot, but I hope I passed you some knowledge about this Bitcoin standard situation. So I'm showing back the charts here, and let's take a quick look here in Cryptos One. Windows organized, no, not that. Organize those windows in alphabetical order, and here we go. Bitcoin Cash. Ooh, that hurts. Downward flags coming more. Bitcoin Gold. Jesus, look at that. It's coming more, even more. Binance is breaking the support after having produced a downward flag. Wow, it's ugly. Well, that's Bitcoin, and that's Bitcoin, and this is Cardano. Wow, look at that. Cardano is going to its all-time low. It's a bloodbath. Jeez. Link. Well, Link is, I don't know if you follow the project, but it's one of the projects that I like very much. They are going to make the link between smart contracts and the database that is needed in order for the smart contracts to self-execute themselves. So they made a deal. I didn't go into details, but they made a deal with Google to enter the big data of Google in order to supply that data to finalize smart contracts. I think they have a place. They definitely have a place, and they have shown here in the chart that they have come to life, and then they started to outperform. That's all these charts are quoted in Bitcoin, right? They start to outperform Bitcoin. So, and now, look at that. They broke this resistance level here, produced this upward wedge, and then another flag, and then a upward flag. And what's going on now? I don't know, but look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're probably going to see a bigger accumulation here, a bigger formation here. But we'll keep an eye, because this is wave 1. It's probably going up more than that. So keep an eye on Link. So I'm going to show you the chart on my ugly face here. And so next one is Atom. Oh, look at that. Not showing good, right? It's already in its all-time low, and it's coming lower. And this is Dash. Oh, poor Dash. Dash is coming even lower. That's a downward flag. Bitcoin is king. Dash is no good. EOS. Well, EOS, you better hold, man, because you're testing a very important support level, and apparently you're gonna break it because you're in the low of the day, and you're producing a flag in a support level. That's bad, man. Now Ethereum. Oh God, Ethereum is number 2. Isn't there going to be a place for a vice president, a vice king or whatever? Well, Ethereum, you better hold, man, because you're testing a very important support level. You're going to break it. If you break it, you're going to go to your all-time low, I tell you. Well, maybe you're going to stop for a coffee at 0.0015 over here, but it's going to be ugly if you break this level here. So, as we know that, as I said in the beginning, we fish in the borders, right? And we're seeing a border here in Ethereum. So, we're taking an eye. If it produces a reversal, that beautiful candlestick reversal, a hammer, a engulfing, a piercing pattern, a star, morning star, a whatever. There's another one. Even a hanami, pregnant woman in Japanese. Well, then maybe we might have something immaterial, right? So next one is, and back to the chart here. Next one is Litecoin. Oh God, it's ugly. That's ugly. See, it broke the support level here, made a pullback, and then, wow, that's ugly, man. Whoa, that's very bad. Well, Monero, I'm quoted that in Bitfinex. I think they went out of quotes today. That's why we see these gap. Well, Monero is in its all-time low, and it broke all these. Oh, it's ugly. It's really ugly. I would say some of these coins are not gonna survive this fall. NEM, well, very bad too. It's testing its all-time low here in a situation that, you know, a flag over a support level, it's probably going to break that down. NEO, it's kind of accumulating below the support level here. It became resistance and produced a flag. Oh, it's bad. Well, Ripple, oh God, Ripple's bad. It just did it. It broke the support level, pulled back, and it's flagging down. It's probably coming to its, I'd say Ripple's coming to its all-time low. Because, you know, that could be considered as a descending triangle. Look at that. That's something we can do in technical analysis. We put this thing here, and then we just project the height of the. Oh God, that hurted. Oh, Ripple, gee, boy, banks are not gonna like that, huh? Yeah, that's bad. One should have stayed in Bitcoin instead of going to Ripple. And now we have Stellar. Oh, poor Stellar. Such a pleasant, a kind, a promising project, but you know, market is well, it doesn't forgive. Look at that. It's going to its all-time low for sure. 800 satoshis. Not for sure. Oops, sorry, nothing's for sure, right? Whenever I say for sure, that I think it's a good chance to get a little there. Tezos. Whoa, Tezos went up, huh? What was that? Bitfinex. We didn't have the. Let me do something unconventional here. Let me use our competitor, TradingView, to see if they are STZ, BTC. Charts, and here we go. What? S T. Is that it? No, XTZ. Come on. XTZ, BTC, and they have it in Bitfinex. It's just Bitfinex. Let's see if they got these, and let's put it in the chart. Yeah, kind of. They had it too, right? They had. Yeah, sort of. But, you know, they producing a reversal here in a important support after having breaking a important support level. So this is something to keep an eye on. Tezos. And back to our chart here. Tron. Oh, poor Tron. Look at that. It's breaking this with downward flag. Again, we can project this downwards, and that would bring us, if we would consider that as a, wow, very low, we would be talking, look at that, we would be talking about a percent change of 82% from where the prices are now. Jesus Christ. But okay, let's say if it stops in here, which is 100 satoshis, that would still be 63%. So, my friends, this is it. Hey, you planning on, shut up. You're planning on visiting Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, look at that. I'm going to make a course in now, July, the 20th, 21, 22. 3 days with me, the whole day, learning technical analysis. And after that, you stay in Rio. How's that? Nice, isn't it? And also you can pay with Bitcoin. Links below. Thank you for watching. See you next week. Ciao.